Hello everybody, my name is Nathan, and I am the man with a cartoon obsession. The day that I'm posting this video is October 1st, 2022. 30 years ago today is when Cartoon Network was first established. And I wanted to make a little video to talk about my history with Cartoon Network. And in order to make sure that it gets posted on the correct day, because I usually have trouble with that kind of thing, this video is unscripted. And I'm just going to talk a bit about Cartoon Network and what it means to me. Before we get into that though, I would greatly appreciate it if you could take just a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more animation related content. My goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I'm hoping we can make that happen. We're very close to hitting 500 subscribers as well, so if we could at least try to do that pretty soon, that would be great. So Cartoon Network. I have gone on record saying that Cartoon Network was my favorite channel growing up. I made a video that ranked the 3 main cartoon channels. Feel free to watch that, by the way. And Cartoon Network was number 1. Cartoon Network has always been number 1. I'm struggling saying Cartoon Network will always be number 1 because, as we all know, in recent years, Cartoon Network has not been great. Cartoonito takes up a good chunk of the block now. Teen Titans Go reruns oversaturated Cartoon Network for so long. That's not as big of a problem now. And I hate to say it, but the recent Warner Brothers and Discovery merger has really put a damper on shows that were on Cartoon Network in the past, such as Infinity Train or OKKO. Of course, they've been nuked off of HBO Max for tax write-off purposes, which sucks. But not only that, it's also a matter of things that are supposed to be coming to Cartoon Network that have suffered. And it's other channels too, but for all intents and purposes, Cartoon Network is what I'm focusing on. But I don't want to dwell so much on the negatives, as Cartoon Network has held a special place in my heart for as long as I've been alive. Well, close to that anyway. And fun fact, Cartoon Network and I happen to share the same birth month, which I think is cool. I'm sure no one else really cares, but I first realized that 10 years ago when they did the 20th birthday celebration, which was very cool, by the way. I really enjoyed the way they did that on Cartoon Network, and they're celebrating their 30th birthday not quite the same way. They don't have all the vignettes featuring the past and present characters like they did back then, which is a shame because I thought that was very cool, and they also showed a lot of older Cartoon Network shows, which they are doing this year, or did do this year, because they celebrated the birthday throughout the month of September. But yeah, it was cool. It was nice to see Cartoon Network still show respect for those older shows that put them on the map. Yeah, those shows such as Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory, Ed and Eddy, what have you, are available on HBO Max for now. But I don't know if I'm the only one who feels this way. Watching shows on TV, especially if you grew up doing so. If you're a kid now in the streaming era, you probably may not understand what I mean, but it just has a different feel to it than watching it on streaming services. It's nearly impossible for me to explain. It's probably the nostalgia. It's probably just the memories that I've had of watching these shows back when I was a kid on TV, because back then we didn't have streaming services. I sound freaking old saying that, even though I'm only in my mid-20s, but I mean, it's true, we didn't have streaming services in the early 2000s when I was a kid. It's a different feeling, you know, commercials, yeah, whatever. But the bumpers, I love TV network bumpers. You don't get those on streaming services. That might not matter to some people, but that's something that I like about the TV experience that you cannot replicate on streaming services. But I'm getting off topic. I remember watching Cartoon Network as a kid, and one of my earliest memories of Cartoon Network was, if you guys are old enough to remember, these blank VHS tapes where you could record television shows and watch them again in the future, of course. I think this was before the DVR days, so we didn't have that option either. Anyway, I had one and I recorded the Dexter's Laboratory episode where Mandark, we got his origin story, and then its sister episode was with 3 robots. It was like Fred and Martin and Tiny, and they were going out on the town and partying and everything. Then the Ed, Edd n Eddy episode where the Eds get stuck in Johnny's wall and they tell the story that happened, and then its sister episode being when Sarah's diary goes missing. I think after that was Pokemon, and it was the circus episode, and then I believe after that was Courage the Cowardly Dog, and that episode was The Mask, which I reviewed on the channel. Those last 2 might be reversed. And I got the very beginning of a Jackie Chan Adventures episode. I don't remember which one. It doesn't matter. I only recorded about 5 minutes before the tape ran out of room. It was a 6-hour tape, but my VCR setting was weird, and it only allowed me to record about 2 hours. But, you know, that's technological stuff that I didn't understand back then, and since VCRs are obsolete now, no one understands it these days. But I wonder if I still have that tape, because that is my earliest memory, or at least one of my earliest memories of Cartoon Network as a kid, and it always stuck with me. I rewatched that tape so many times throughout the years even. I loved watching the poor quality TV recording of those episodes and of the old commercials, like old Eggo waffle commercials for old toys that I can't remember the names of right now, other old candy and stuff like that, and old Cartoon Network bumpers that you don't see anymore. I love that stuff. I love that preservation of history. And it's like I said in my video where I ranked the main 3 cartoon channels, Cartoon Network always felt like a family to me. It felt like a cohesive unit because of its bumpers, because of, at the time, how it treated its shows like they were all together, like they were in this big, non-canonical universe. And yeah, we don't really get that much anymore. They still do those kinds of things every now and then, mainly for special occasions, which is fine. I mean, I'll take what I can get. But yeah, Cartoon Network, it always holds a special place in my heart. Even when I was getting into that age, around 12 or 13 or whatever it was, when they started doing CN Real, which was terrible. Even though I did kind of like it at the time, but in retrospect, yeah, it was terrible. And I was falling out of love with cartoons at the time, believe it or not. But then 2010 came along and we got Adventure Time and Regular Show, and soon after that we got The Amazing World of Gumball, and Cartoon Planet was revived around that time, which all brought me back into watching Cartoon Network. And Boomerang was a big help as well, because at the time they were showing Teen Titans and Ben 10 and the older Pokemon, and shows that Cartoon Network had pretty much abandoned. And I still watch Cartoon Network to this day, from time to time. You know, they still show good shows. Craig of the Creek is the only good one still running. But they show Gumball reruns, and especially this past month, like I said, I've been watching it more because of the celebration for the 30th birthday. But they have shows coming up, hopefully they'll still happen, such as Unicorn Warriors Eternal, which is one I'm really looking forward to since that's done by Genndy Tartakovsky, and others as well, like the new Superman show and stuff like that. But despite all of the negatives surrounding Cartoon Network, I will always remember the good old days. I will always remember the Cartoon City bumpers. I will always remember watching my favorite shows. I will always remember Toonami and Magoozy and Cartoon Theater and The Best Day Ever. All of these things that made Cartoon Network what it was. And I will always remember that VHS tape that I recorded Cartoon Network shows on when I was a kid. This had to have been, I don't even know, 2002 maybe, 2003, I have no clue. But it was a long time ago. I'm sure I was in elementary school. But yeah, it was great. Cartoon Network was fantastic. And I'm sure it still can be. It's not impossible. And I want to see it reclaim its former glory. I'm sure that's just because I grew up with it and I just don't want to see it die. I don't know if it will die per se, but it's just special to me. You know, Cartoon Network means a whole lot to me. It helped shape my cartoon obsession, and I just have a lot of fond memories watching it as a kid, and as a teenager, and as an adult. And I hope to get more fond memories watching it. So, Cartoon Network, once again, happy 30th birthday, and thank you for being a huge part of my childhood and of my life. and hopefully you will only get better from here. Well, I guess I've rambled on enough. Thank you guys for watching this video. I know it didn't really have any sense of direction, but I just wanted to talk about Cartoon Network and what it means to me, and just share a couple of stories from my childhood. But I don't want to go on for too long, or else I'll never shut up. But I hope you enjoyed this video. And as always, if you have any other cartoons, anime, or other animated works that you want me to talk about in the future, please let me know. After all, it's not my channel, it's our channel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and feel free to check out my social media pages, audition for an outro, and join the official Cartoon Obsession Discord. The links for all of which are in the description below. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
Greetings, my villainous viewers. It is I, Black Hat, and it almost hurts to say it. And thank you for watching Cartoon Obsessions.